Greetings, I am Lies.
And I am Scandal.
And let's grow a garden together.
guys.
So we were about to take Rachel to go and see our garden.
Hooray!
A 3-part tour.
Woo! While Luke apparently is incredibly tone deaf with his child that he's known for years and still thinks of her apparently like she's a 4-year-old, which is really weird.
And also, you know, if the playset's the right size, it's fine, because we've established those are pretty freaking cool, and a lot of people like them.
I do.
I'm going to be talking to myself a lot here.
Yes!
All right, commentary. I need commentary support. Dog, where are you when I need you?
I am Dog.
Yes. All right. So, how long have you known Luke?
Dog.
Oh, only about 2 weeks now. That's when I inherited the place. He actually built the gazebo for me. That was good of him. Nice design, too. Did you pay him? Oh. I don't know if Luke mentioned it to you yet, but I'm a designer. I work on big estates like this all the time. So, like, an
Oh no, are we
interior
really gonna
decorator?
do something like she's gonna fix our money problem?
Can I show it off to people? Can I throw a party here? I don't even
honestly,
know.
this would be wild. Like, I keep trying to figure out how they're gonna solve Lily's, like, casually sort of semi-dropped-ish kind of point about I don't have enough money.
I'm going, you're an accountant, it's an accounting problem, do accounting stuff.
Right.
Contact accounting people.
It's
Use
fine.
accounting resources. Use the power of accounting!
The power of accounting compels you!
Yes!
And the dark of accounting.
Hey, in the dark of the night, we are accounting.
Ding, ding.
In the dark of the night, crunching numbers. All right. Hopefully you come around more often then. I'm a real amateur. This does not look amateur. If so, you're doing good work.
I guess.
Thanks. This is such a tour. So, how come you're at Luke's every time I visit?
Like, literally, we just got divorced.
You've only visited twice, in my defense. To be fair, you've really only been there twice in 2 whole weeks, so, you know. Well, you know, our backyards adjoin each other, so it's hard not to be in his space. I mean...
Especially because, you know, initially when I first met him, he had all of his shit dumped in my side yard.
Yeah. We've gotten to know each other a little, and he's been really helpful over here. Mostly I'm isolated and completely alone. I know no one. And I don't know a lot about friendships. I'm not trying to interrogate you. It just seems like you've been helping him get the place in shape. As if it needs a woman's touch. Sigh.
It's okay.
It's really been all him. I'm just an extra pair of hands, really. And a lot of magic. A lot of magic.
But that one might be hard to explain to some people, because I have been having a time since I made my pact with my patron god, like, whoa.
Like, yeah, damn. So it's been interesting to summon some things out of the air, and other things you have to go to the store, and I haven't figured it all out yet.
Yeah, you're right.
And besides, the thought of a girl growing up with a dad, it kind of hits close to home. Sorry, am I overstepping? Or oversharing?
I mean,
overstepping my bounds?
also, again, though, okay, so I feel bad about this. Growing up without a dad. Your dad still exists, he's not dead. And also, too, even if he wasn't, maybe that's not actually a bad thing. Like,
also,
sometimes, again, we've talked about basically, like, some parents are really abusive. And not having them around is a
it
good
actually
thing.
can be really good. So
And also, maybe you have 2 moms.
So my dad.
Instead of...
Right, instead of a dad. Growing up without your other parents figure that you'd like in your life. So for me, my parents got divorced when I was fairly young, about 4, basically, and it never really affected me very much that I'm aware of.
Didn't your mom get, like, very divorced a couple times, though?
Well, yeah, okay, so my parents being my biological parents.
Yeah.
My mom's on her 3rd marriage. She's trying really hard, and I good luck to her. I do not meddle in my parents' affairs. But I do wish them success in all ways. Like, it is my hope. But anyway, so with my dad, he had a lot of anger problems and a lot of stress and anxiety about becoming a parent. And he didn't have any knowledge of those things until it was mandated by the court during the custody battle that he had to go to an anger counselor. And he ended up dealing with his anger issues and with like his alcoholism and stuff like that. And he himself said, when I was about, 12, 13 years old enough to really understand it, that he felt he was a much better parent when he only saw us part of the time. When he had most of the year to himself and did not see us at all, he felt he was a much better parent because he didn't know how to handle the stress in long stretches.
There's also, like, to me, that also sounds vaguely like basically this cultural idea of going, no, but you need to have kids, but you need to look like this in certain ways.
And they
kids
need
are necessary.
to be with you.
And that you never really think about, like, what it looks like to have children who are growing up and who are fully functioning people to an extent, obviously, but they're very highly dependent upon you for a point, and then going like, you're developing a real person.
You're
Like,
helping grow a whole ass adult.
Yeah.
And it's not like, oh, well, who's that person? It's really like, as complex as you are, that is your child.
Yeah.
And so for me, I have a lot of sympathy for the adults who get divorced and who leave their kids as well, in the same way that I want kids not to blame their parents and feel like they have a problem with themselves.
Or feel like they need to basically blame someone because everybody in the media goes, this is the worst freaking experience ever, how dare. Especially though for me, a lot of it comes out of basically an idea of traditionalism here in the US.
But
of going like, you need to have your nuclear family household experience.
Because
and going like, if you lost your nuclear family, your whole life is over. Something is inherently wrong with you, with the system. You just didn't work on it hard enough, blah, blah, blah.
And so
whatever.
for me, I never resented my parents or found it to be a problem that they got divorced. I know a lot of people do though, because I hear it all the time from other people. And for me, I thought it was really cool to get to know my dad more instead of just as a parent, but as a person, for him to go, you know what? I realized that I don't know how to not be stressed about being a parent. I don't know how to not find it an anxious, challenging thing to do. That's anxiety inducing of how much control I am not supposed to induce over you. How much responsibility I do or do not have, from you kind of thing. And going, when I only have to do that part of the time, it is so much easier and I can be a better person about it and not hate myself as much and not be as bad to you.
Yeah.
And I thought that was super cool. And it's like, sometimes people go, well, yeah, but just do better. But it's like, that's as good as he could do. And that's super cool that he recognized that that worked for him.
Right.
And I think that's neat. But again, it's like, it's very complicated when you say people have to be together in a certain way, because people can make mistakes and people can change and people can also find that they need different things.
Mm-hmm.
All right. No, don't worry. Oh, there are more sections too? We walked through one of them on the way to here, but yeah, bunches.
Yeah, huge.
In fact, three pieces is not going to be enough to actually show you everything, but I'll summarize it. Have we seen the bees yet? Because we totally should.
We should have. Oh
Yeah,
no,
we're
we
not
walked
going
by
to.
the bees. No.
It's fine.
No bees.
Did you restore this whole place?
The bee?
The bees? Yourself? It looks great. Not just me, but no one is really working on it professionally. Can't really afford anyone but me. Anyway, I say as I guilt myself again for not paying my friend Regina, which makes it hard given my timetable. But you don't need to know anything about that, so I'm still kind of oversharing because I'm awkward. But saying I'm awkward and knowing my awkward doesn't really fix me being awkward.
Right.
Are you supposed to show it to a buyer soon? Yeah, you're making it over, right?
Right. You're flipping it.
Oh, no, nothing like that. It's complicated. Hey, how come you didn't say anything when Karen clearly didn't like any of the stuff Luke got for her? That's sudden and interesting.
Whoa!
Like, wow.
You don't think you thought the other stuff was kind of overstepping. This is a little much.
This is a lot more.
I feel like we've connected, girl style, together.
I'm just trying to make conversation. So this is the only thing I know about you, so I'll talk about you.
I'm
could
also
ask
just
what
like-
kind of design, what's your job like, how did you and Luke meet, any
The
of those
writers would
things.
have to write about that, dear. They couldn't just make her a generic,
I don't know.
architect or whatever.
Oh, you noticed too. Well, if I step in whenever they have an issue, then they'll never actually talk to each other about it.
Except that if nobody points it out, sometimes in some cases people literally won't just talk about it.
They don't get to it on their own.
Because
Sometimes they do, and sometimes they don't. And leaving it to chance.
but the thing is also though, if you never establish though that you'll talk about it, Luke can ignore it until the cows come home, and Karen will just go, "That's normal," because she hasn't had a lot of exposure.
I go,
That's
just who
bullshit, in my
parent is."
opinion. Yeah.
Yeah.
He's going like, my dad is completely unavailable, and he always kind of like shuts down and gets really awkward, or just doesn't care about my feelings, and I just have to deal with my dad. Kids have never been taught, or because you can teach them to basically constructively interact and question things, and going, "Dad, that seemed really weird. Why are you doing that?" Or going, "Hey, Dad, I know you were trying to be thoughtful, but I do not feel like these gifts are very thoughtful. I appreciate the thought, but I do not want them. Thank you."
Yeah, and just
Like, you
being
are allowed to reject gifts. Teaching kids that they can say no is fine.
is really, really valuable.
And teaching adults that they can say no, or
Also
basically
fine.
accept and go, "Thank you for your thought, take it home and donate it."
I-
You do not need to hold on to people's presents that they give you where they're completely thoughtless and bullshitty.
Or if they just really had no idea who you were but felt compelled to give a gift, you can even recognize that and going, "Look, I know you were trying to do something nice for me, and I appreciate the thought. I recognize that you put effort into this, and that makes me feel super good. You came from the totally wrong direction."
Right?
But in this case, like, it requires outside help frequently to get people to talk about things. And she might be working from inside knowledge here in the sake of going, I know from when we lived together that if I ever said anything, it would never get talked about. But if I didn't say things, they succeeded in talking about it. Like, she could just know this.
That's also a possibility as well.
Oh, no. There's been a lot I've had to figure out without the benefit of having a second parent around. Recently? How long have you guys been divorced? He's acting like it was just like this month kind of thing.
Yeah, I'm like, what?
So I have had to figure out that they don't talk to each other if I intervene?
What?
I don't understand where that came from.
Have you
at all.
also just been sort of like unavailable because Luke started pushing back at one point, went, I need to go do my own stuff, and he started leaving more often, like when you guys were married?
Or if he was more...
I don't understand the timetable on this at all. Now I'm completely lost, because we were both like, it must have been in like the last month or something.
Yeah,
like that.
and for her, it could be sort of a thing of going...
Now that doesn't mean that...
I need to let them talk about it, and then going, this has all just hit me, and even if it's completely non sequitur, God, there's been so many things I've had to try and figure out as a single mom. Even if it's just started. Like, some people are going, I've been indoors with my kids for a week for coronavirus. We do not know who each other are.
I have also listened to some people talk about the way their kids are in, like, we've been inside, and God, my kids are just giant freaking monsters, and I'm like,
that's...
my God.
That is part of your relationship with each other. It is a two-way street.
Like, my kids are just these things. You're probably also a monster, by the way, to them.
Karen doesn't exactly hide her feelings. They'll talk. Mind if we make a little detour? I remembered I have something to do. Where to? Just over to the beehive. Yeah, well, you know.
Are you gonna get her some mead?
Some mead? I get it. We're gonna ferment it instantly with the powers of our patron.
No.
I was reading. I'm trying to read, going, hang on, where is? Where is? Here we go. I still like the little bed thing. It's so ridiculous.
It's
I'm trying to solve a cash flow issue so I can get this place restored in time. I figured maybe if I could bottle some honey, I could sell it. That is not going to be enough, dear.
Why are you telling...
Okay, little guys, just be patient with me, please. I will summon the jars right here and gently, magically remove the honey from its combs, disturbing nothing. And no one. They're a lot happier now. When I moved here, it was in awful shape. Now they have lots of flowers to munch on and a lot more space to build, and you have a healthier beehive, and...
Hi.
You're not scared of them? No, not really. Most creatures people think are mean. Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Most creatures people think are mean are just misunderstood. I was having a garden path experience.
Oh, okay. You're like, I was reading something else.
Like, I was totally going somewhere else. It's okay.
And again, if you don't know what garden pathing is, it's
so it's a sentence structure where basically your interpretation of the beginning of the sentence is going to be something completely different than where it goes.
Right.
Or the way you would tend to put emphasis is going to be inaccurate with how the sentence is actually structured.
Right.
And so you can look up garden path sentences, and it's very simple. But yeah, this basic idea that you're going to start reading it one way and then go, hang on, it was referring to something totally else.
Right.
All right. Most creatures people think are mean are just misunderstood. Like ex-wives? Are we going to be friends?
We have got to be friends, because eventually we're going to end up dating Luke, and we can't have that kind of antagonism running around.
Oh, God. What if we just dated his ex-wife?
Right? I mean, his ex-wife seems great.
She seems like she's trying really hard. Oh, I didn't think, I know, I just figure you probably have an idea of me based on Luke's side of things. But you should know, I'm not trying to keep Karen from him. I just need him to put in the effort in. I just need to know that he's going to pay attention to her and make an effort toward... I don't even know what I need. I don't want his house to look like a hoarder mess hole, and I want her to be comfortable there.
Well, because also, let alone, you could potentially have, like, very unsafe sanitary practices. Like, there is a level of going, like,
unsafe
you are unsafe conditions. Like, you can lose your kids because you are gross.
If he wants to be your dad, he needs to be her father, too, you know? But it's actually been really encouraging to see him so fired up today. I'm glad. He's been talking about Karen a lot. Hey, I have to handle a few other things, and I don't want to take up all your time. Mind if I meet back up with you guys later? Mind if I cancel the tour and don't finish it suddenly because the aside suddenly turned into we're not doing anything else?
Yeah, I thought we were actually going to go over the whole
What if we just gave you permission to walk the whole garden yourself?
I mean, there's a level though. So my brain, knowing usually how a lot of this tends to work, you usually want to be polite
And show
and
people
be a
around.
host. Plus, also the other thing is so I always felt like what hosts were also doing though is making sure that nobody fucks anything up.
Right.
Let alone like I'm not just here being a host. I'm literally here also watching you and controlling what you do by simply my presence and the way that I talk about. So this is how you do this thing, and check out the thing. This is where we walk.
Isn't
blah,
it
blah,
nice
blah.
to look at? Here, come walk down this path.
And
you guide
you're
people.
basically quietly trying to, in the most polite way you can possibly come up with, of showing people how to interact with your space.
I'm also just like, you did just suddenly just, hey, let's take a detour. Okay, no tour. Like, without really acknowledging it. Mind if I meet up with you guys later? Sure. I'll see you then. Thanks for the tour.
I was really abrupt.
It was very brief, but I'm glad I was included. Okay, Buzzy Buddies, let's get this honey business
We're really going to solve
rolling.
this with honey.
I hope not, because
The thing is you...
she has so many other skills and there's so many other mysteries going on right now. Like, there's the,
Yeah, it is honey.
You're kidding. Bees don't make that much honey in one hive. In one hive. All right, set up a
Again.
honey sale.
She's a warlock. Like, I have nothing else to give you other than...
Like, she really is going, I will magically help them produce more. They will have infinite.
Wonder if it's a water-based, feeling a little fuzzy.
Perfectly even letters.
Not really.
I'm a Disney princess and I'll paint a sign.
Arf, arf. I am dog?
Hey, Roxy. Oh, why aren't you hanging out with Karen? I would love it if they decided to go a full-on, having her painting the other side of the sign where you can't see her, but we can see this side, and it tells you absolutely that she's painted both sides. But it'd be really fun to be like, this is a very realistic convention of her standing on the other side of the sign.
Yep.
Why aren't you hanging out with Karen or any of your 3 people that say they own you as their dog?
And then also that
Rachel hasn't said anything about you ever. Does she even know you exist? Does she think you're my dog?
I don't know. Borf? I am dog?
Convincing argument. Hey, what do you think of my sign?
Borf.
Boo. I like to boo.
I am dog.
Hey, I don't think you're being very constructive right now. Do you want to put a paw print on it or something? Oh, maybe I should draw a honeybee on it. That could be charming.
Arf? I am dog?
You never know. People might like that.
I mean, it looks kind of trashy. But
It looks very back row.
So this is one of those things of going like having painter's
Unprofessional.
tape is great. Having also a lot of skill in doing calligraphy
crap,
is
that's
really...
a lot of honey.
Wow.
Also, that'd be damned expensive. Like homegrown, organic from my beehive honey. Each one of those pots as big as your head, so like around a gallon. That's gonna be like, here are $50 pots of honey.
Yeah, and you know how many people aren't going to buy those? Because weirdly enough in the US when they go, yes, this thing. Well, because it's that much, I'm not going to do it.
One of the things that I've always loved at farmers markets, and this is a privilege that I've had in the past because I had enough money to do it, is buying honey in the honeycomb, where you have responsible
so
farmers and they have these cool little like boxes where you have just a chunk of like geometric honeycomb. And I would always buy like a rectangle that was like 3 inches by like 2 inches kind of thing, and I would just eat the entire thing. Like I'd eat the wax and all of it. It was just so good. Like on a hot day, it's so good.
I remember when you used to do a lot of that stuff, and I was just like, I don't know how you...
How do you? It's so strong.
Well, the thing was, it was so waxy past a
That
point.
too.
Like you could eat part of it, and then I was just like, once you sort of like chew into it past a point, you're just like, this is just wax. It's just wax in my face. I have to...
So for me, I would just eat it. One of the honey vendors, I did that in front of them. They're just like, oh my god, it's a real person who really likes honey. Yes. But it was funny. But that's just me. All right, that's suitably rustic. I think. Were you going for rustic?
Hi.
People are crazy for that gentrified, folksy aesthetic.
Whoa, do you know
What?
what gentrification means?
Actually, are we talking about the honey being gentrified? Also,
What?
those pots, again, that glass container is huge. I wouldn't be surprised if you put a $100 label on each of those things.
Yeah, I wouldn't either.
Like,
but I'm
'cause that
also
is
just
a
like,
ton of honey.
I mean, what you're doing, my dear, is also gentrification. Like, the thing I'm baffled at is good. For that gentrified thing, you mean your entire backyard and the fact of what you own, and then insisting that basically Luke clean up his area, not because he needs to do it for him, because in the end, so what you need to realize in a lot of cases, why I've been really uncomfortable in some cases with Lily actually helping Luke, is a lot of cases what you have is basically your neighbor coming over going, hey, you're pulling down the prices to my house, but most of them aren't usually going to be that impolite, air quotey enough.
They'd be like, hey, can I help you with your weeds? Can I help you with your trash?
lawn? Yeah.
Let's see what we can, you know what, all that stuff, I could haul that, you know what? what? I have a truck.
You know what? Wow, why don't you have a grass lawn? What's wrong with you? There's
Or, you know, I know a great seed or a great sod company that can help you with this. That assumption of what your problem is, because it's my problem, actually. But in this case, I think what she's trying to say is shabby chic, not really gentrified folksy aesthetic, but like you made it so it looks like it's more valuable than it is. It's the older thing that has become valuable because it's
the traditionalism
old and it's slightly
look,
worn out. Yes, and it's very like it's
we're going
for
for
cottage core.
Right.
Cottage core is what we're after. Maybe I could charge $20 for
Oh my God.
some avocado toast too. So you're gonna say
I can't tell
20?
if this is like self-aware. Like again, we've guessed that the people who are mostly involved in this game are around basically millennial age. They're probably most of the people who are on the business side of things.
Their topics seem
are
to
probably going to be more boomer age range, which is amazing where I say stuff like that.
Whoa.
But I usually end up not being wrong, which makes me laugh because.
But this game does seem like it's created by a younger generation.
Yes.
Like.
But I'm like.
Can you imagine buying a piece of avocado toast for $20?
$20?
Like, holy crap. That's not even restaurant prices. Are you talking like a whole served breakfast?
Yay!
Or are you talking about this giant gallon-sized jar of honey and a slice of avocado toast for $20? And in that case, you are underselling yourself like fucking mad.
Yeah.
On the other hand, if you're going, I can just magically summon honey out of here, maybe I'm going, I have more of a resource than you, and I can just magic these jars and these lids up, so I don't have to pay anything into this at all and I don't run out, then I'm just hoping to sell it. Where are you gonna get the avocados, dear? Let's see, if I sell the honey for $10 a jar, divide the tax by that, so then you're still saying avocado toast by itself is $10.
Right.
I'd need to sell like 500,000 jars. Yeah. Oh, well, every little bit helps a little bit, I guess.
You really should be selling that for a lot more. That's so much honey.
Oh my gosh.
My
like
dude, that is bigger than the money box.
Yeah, like that is a ton of honey. Honey at the grocery store, even if it's standard manufactured clover honey, is not cheap.
Yeah, it's
like
really
honey is not cheap. Like those little squares that I used to buy at the farmer's market, even the cheap ones were like $10.
Yeah, they're expensive. Like bull fucking shit.
Like damn. Oh well, so that is
awesome.
Our honey sale, and that is this episode.
Guy, thank you very much then, guys, for joining us. This has been an interesting discussion of like everything. So we appreciate you guys being here with us. If you like what we do, please feel free to like, comment, and subscribe. Share our videos with people you think would actually enjoy them and maybe get something out of them, or just kind of have a few good laughs and have some things to think about or talk about. Because we really like doing that sort of thing.
Again, if there's anything we talk about in any of our videos that would be a good conversation starter for you, or that deals with a topic that is something you want to discuss with someone, it can be a good way to start that topic by, introducing them to, like basically sharing a video, having some fun, and then going, hey, this is the thing I wanted to talk about.
Right.
It can be a kind of a fun platform to share an idea without having to explain everything yourself and build them all the way into it.
Right.
Other than that,
if you like what we do again, though, personally, please feel free to also go and check out our Patreon and our Ko-Fi. We have some game goals that we'd like to accomplish, so we can actually play some different games for everybody.
Yes.
And also, we would love to get better internet.
Yes. Ultimately, we have really, really terrible bargain basement internet, and it is very challenging to do some of this, which is not something you need to be responsible for.
Yes.
Something to be aware of. That is what the labor of love we put into this channel.
Yes.
All right. Anyway, I have been Lies.
Yes, but I have been Skin.
Oh, and it was great playing with you. Bye.